how's it going, guys? It's Scarecrow, and welcome back to another Black Ops 3 commentary. I haven't done these in a little while, and I actually came up with the topic today. So there's something I wanted to talk about, and it's actually in terms of Infinity Ward and Infinite Warfare, because I was playing a little bit of that this morning, and I really just wanted to talk about it in a more general sense. And I feel like I'm impartial enough to Infinity Ward and a lot of the developers for Call of Duty to really give them, you know, kind of a critical analysis, because I came into the Call of Duty franchise, you could say, probably at the worst time. I'm probably going to say that. I came in doing Call of Duty Ghosts, and then, you know, depending on how you looked at it, the next couple Call of Duties haven't quite measured up to the success of the previous couple. If I had been an OG from COD 4 and experienced all the heyday of MW2 and MW3, I didn't. I came in Call of Duty Ghosts, and so my experience is very kind of impartial. I love Call of Duty as a franchise. I've played the older games, I've had fun times in them and stuff, but I never get to experience them in their heyday, and I never get to experience the passion and the old school roughness that the older games had along with the development studios. And now we have the more clinical Treyarch, we have the more passionate Sledgehammer, and then we have the, I don't even know for Infinity Ward at the moment. But I wanted to look at that a little bit, because I think the intentions of the developers have been becoming a bit more transparent the more Call of Duty games that they release. Treyarch and Infinity Ward have obviously been doing this the longest, with Sledgehammer Games being a newcomer to the series. And I'm not going to focus too much here on Sledgehammer, because they still have to prove themselves. They still have to show me a really good Call of Duty that works on all fronts. They have to come out firing on all cylinders, and I'm still waiting to see that from World War II. It could happen, it could not. We'll see. Like, World War II could be the Call of Duty that blows me away and shows me just what Sledgehammer Games could do, or it could be just another Call of Duty to tide me over until the next one, like a lot of previous Call of Duties have been. But today I kind of wanted to focus a little bit on Infinity Ward and Treyarch, mainly Infinity Ward, because Infinity Ward, they've let me down this year. Me personally, and the PC community, they've let us down. I'm not going to debate that. I'm not going to defend them for that. They gave us a pretty poor offering for Call of Duty this year. They basically threw us to the wolves and said adapt or die, and most of us died, myself included. So yeah, I don't play Infinite Warfare anymore. It saddens me to say that, but it's just beyond my capabilities to find a match, and I can't enjoy a game that Infinity Ward has no passion put into the PC port of that. That's just the simple truth behind the matter. I can play Black Ops 3 because while the spark is no longer there for Treyarch, they once had it. Someone at Treyarch once cared for the PC port. There was love put into the PC port. You can say what you want about the overall game, but the PC port at least had attention, and there was a spark there. There's features there that are exclusive to PC, and it's really, really cool. And PC dev, I bow down to that man slash woman, no one really knows yet, because he has kept us afloat over the past couple of years, and it's just been amazing to see that someone has been willing to stick around and, you know, can show us continued support. But whatever you want to say about Black Ops 3 overall, you can say that Treyarch once had a spark for PC, and they let it show in their Black Ops 3 port. Infinity Ward, it's the opposite. They have a spark. They have a spark of creativity and a genuine passion for Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. They love that game. You can tell. Like, if you go to that game and you get past the kind of clinical aesthetic that the game has, you will see the game has been crafted with love, care, and so much attention to detail. There's so many systems in there that are well thought out. There's a progression grind to keep you coming back, and it is a very, very balanced multiplayer game, and it works. But then I don't know what happened to their PC port, because that just didn't translate over. I don't know whether a separate studio was in charge of that, or if they just couldn't be bothered, they ran out of time. I don't know, alright? But I'm not going to focus too much on the PC side of things. I wanted to focus more on Infinity Ward's passion towards their game, because right now, I'm looking at, you know, the three developers we have right now, and Sledgehammer aside, Sledgehammer is in their own separate little area, because they're super passionate about their game right now. They've got a Call of Duty releasing in a couple months. Of course they're going to be excited. Of course they're on that hype train themselves. They're living off their own euphoria. Alright, but we're just going to take into account here, we've got Treyarch and we've got Infinity Ward. Infinity Ward loves Infinite Warfare. They don't, like, of course they have taken the criticisms to heart, and they know that the community doesn't really, well, a majority of the community seems to not like Infinite Warfare, or they just seem to, you know, treat it as a meh Call of Duty. But they love that game. I cannot discredit their passion for that project. They stuck to their guns throughout the entire development cycle, throughout the entire release cycle of the game, and it's still going. They're still providing so much enthusiasm towards their project. It even shows, and this is what I like, it even shows in the zombies maps. Every zombies map that they've released is something that we've never seen before, and it continues to build upon what we've already got and what we know from them from the previous DLC packs and stuff like that. And say what you want about the DLC maps, okay? Some of the DLC maps for Infinite Warfare are pretty meh, I'm gonna say that. Alright, but in terms of genuine passion they have for the game, it shows, it shines through. Like, whenever they talk about their game on Twitter, whenever you see an interview with a developer, whenever you saw them talking about their project or their story or their cast or this is what we're bringing, regardless of the community's outcry towards it and the community not being receptive to it, they still stuck to their guns and said, this is a passion project. They flat out stated that Call of Duty Infinite Warfare was released at the wrong time. If they had released this 2 years ago, we would have absolutely loved it, and I don't disagree. I don't disagree at all. I think the community would have went absolutely nuts for it. But the fact that they did it, and they did it better than Treyarch, in my opinion, still speaks volumes for their passion towards Call of Duty. A lot of people feel like Infinity Ward has slipped off the edge and they just don't have any idea what they're doing anymore, and they're just floating, you know, back and forth. No, they're learning, okay? They tried to make what the fans wanted in Call of Duty Ghosts and failed miserably. That game was good, but it was flawed on so many levels. They kind of gave up with that. I don't know what happened. They were developing for 5 different platforms and it just all fell through. And the game, while fun and holds a place in my heart for being the first Call of Duty that I ever played, it has a myriad of flaws. Let's just admit that. It's a flawed game. Okay, so then they said, right, well, let's just make something that makes us happy. Let's focus on what we want to make, all right? And at the time, after Call of Duty Ghosts, you know, they wanted to do something different. So let's just take a futuristic. Let's do space, like full-on space combat. Let's do like space pirates and all of this military commanders and just having your own entire spaceship to yourself and flying around the star system, hijacking enemy ships and stuff like that. Let's go absolutely nuts. And so they did. They poured every bit of creativity they had into the game, every bit of know-how they've pulled from previous Call of Duties, and it shines through. The story for Infinite Warfare's campaign was amazing. It made me genuinely cry by the end of it. By the end of the Infinite Warfare story, I'm not going to spoil for if you haven't played it, but by golly, it got me invested in the characters, and damn, it was a full, enriching experience that I genuinely enjoyed. I really, really enjoyed the story. And the multiplayer, although I didn't get to play very much of it, you could tell that they had learned from previous mistakes and were trying as hard as they can to adapt to the new setting and the new systems that they had been working on and make a complete multiplayer experience. And now we've got more content than we could possibly ask for in Infinite Warfare. There is so much to do in Infinite Warfare. We have so much supplied up content, so much free content as well. I just want to say that too. Like, we have so much overall content in the game, so many weapons, score streak variants, gun variants. We have really cool zombies maps, each inspired by different settings and different themes, daily rewards and challenges. We have a loot progression system, we have a currency system, multiple currency systems in place actually. We have incentives for season pass owners, we have incentives for players that have just bought the standard edition. There is so much going on in Infinite Warfare. There are so many little systems that nobody took the time to look at, nobody took the time to really appreciate. They just bundled it all off with a sellout game, and that's so far from true. In my opinion, if Infinity Ward was uninspired, if Infinity Ward just wanted a cash grab, they'd make another MW4. And that would just be all the fans would need. Like, sure, slap the MW logo on it, you know, add some different guns. Basically, everything that MW3 was, but add a 4 on the end of it, and that's a cash grab. Infinity Ward has created Infinite Warfare, and that is a passion project, and I commend them for it. I really do. Whereas Black Ops 3, when you play it, now it feels clinical. Somehow, Black Ops 3 is like a hodgepodge of thrown together ideas that is not executed well. It's like if you got so many of these really cool ideas, you can sense the ideas and the creativity behind Treyarch's attempt at this, but at the same time, they just chucked it all at a wall and hoped it'd stick, and then whatever it resembled is what we got in Black Ops 3. Whereas Infinity Ward took the time to plan out, map, and fully create the entire experience that is Infinite Warfare. And I can appreciate that. It makes me really look forward to their next game. I hope that their next game they put a little bit more effort into the PC port so I get to fully appreciate it, but at the same time, I'm so happy that the people that have stuck with Infinite Warfare and like Infinite Warfare get rewarded. They get a passionate community, they get passionate developers who are willing to sit down and listen to their feedback, take creative criticism, and work on new systems and exciting ideas for the franchise. It's just, Infinite Warfare is not a step back for Call of Duty, it's what happens when you give developers creative freedom and see what they can do. You can see it. I know that I've said this a lot, but it really is a passion project, and if you cannot see that, then I really do think you need to reevaluate and take a closer look at it. I really do. Because you look back to all of their developer diaries, them making the game, them showing off the game, there was true pride in that game. There's true excitement and pride, regardless of how the community saw it. They were so excited to show off their new game, and it breaks my heart that the community literally tore them to pieces for it, and now they're probably going to retreat back into their shell and give us another bland, uninspired game. I truly hope they continue the trend of creativity and bravery that they've shown in spite of the community's reaction, because a good game is a good game, and Infinity Ward has created a really good game in Infinite Warfare, and I hope they do it again for the next title. So anyway guys, that is going to wrap it up for this video. Let me know what you think of Infinite Warfare down in the comment section below, and let me know what you think of Infinity Ward down in the comment section below as well, because I'm curious. Can you see the work and pride that they've put into Infinite Warfare? I really can. I sat down and thought about it this morning, and it shines through, I think, and I'm really excited to see what they do for the future. So anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more, and I shall see you, beautiful people, in the next video.